1,000,007?
Mm-hmm. Hold on. Look in text. Ew. Yep, I heard.
Mm-hmm. What'd you hear?
I was responding to you in the stream on YouTube, not realizing that it was a stream on YouTube and not you.
Huh?
Yeah, exactly. It's fine. Hold on, blah 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 blah. What am I trying to say? Luggage is down here. Okay. Why was that so fucking hard?
What was what?
We're live on YouTube, by the way.
Okay.
Right now. I'm sorry. I was responding to a text and I could not think straight for a second.
It's all right. There's something's going on. He said just before he died.
Oh, I should change. Nope, not that one.
What are you doing?
Not that one. That
What?
one. Because you're wearing a green shirt, so we had a little bleed through on your t-shirt.
Oh.
I don't think that's the right phrase, but still.
I could so if you were having zip up my hoodie a little more.
You're fine. I already fixed it. It's fine.
Okay. All right.
Mm.
Well then let's let a little color
Oh.
pop.
Mm.
Yeah.
Delicious.
Big time TV. That's who we are.
Yep. I'm drinking wine and you're doing stuff.
I'm shivering for no reason.
Has that gotten any better?
A little, but not normal. Anyway, I'll cross that bridge. I'll cross the Rainbow Bridge. I'll cross the bridge to Terabithia.
That's a lot of bridges, bro.
Yeah, bridges in Madison County. Nash bridges.
Keep going.
Yeah, I'm just a free associating Ask Jeeves. Is this what you were looking for? Is this what you were looking for? Is this what you were looking for?
No, thank you. No.
A Bridgerton?
Thank you. That's what I was looking for. Jeez.
Wow. Sexy times. Sexy olden times.
Oh, not that one. I never saw that one.
Different one? Okay. Should we clap?
Yeah.
Woo!
Oh, am I recording?
I don't know. I'm recording.
Oh, I am.
Are you recording?
I am.
All right. All right. What's up, guys? It's On Fire Tonight with Josh and Tressa. I'm Josh.
Tressa.
What's up? Are you doing the old dirty thing?
No, I'm doing the commercial.
Yeah, but do you also remember Old Dirty Bastard? Like, remember when you used to do this for as long as you could?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Man, that guy, he was a master. Anyway, we're here to talk about Man in the High Castle, season 1, episode 2. It's called Sunrise. This is a fucking awesome episode. It's a really good show. If you haven't seen the show yet, pause this, watch it, and come back. Now you're listening to us. And all the spoilers are not spoilers. They're just a discussion.
That's right. We discuss things.
Yeah. Dude, what did you, just off the top, what did you think? We just watched it together.
What a wacky fun romp this show is. I enjoyed it. Yes. I just had to make fun of how serious it is.
Is it too dark for you?
As much as Marky Mark is darky dark. I don't even know what I just said. I know it's as dark as I expected it to be, but it's not
but it's
This
not bringing
episode,
you down.
this episode was kind of rough, but
Yeah.
it's not as bad as I thought that it was going to be. And I know that our heroes are going to lead the way to freedom at some point, hopefully.
Hope so. I don't know.
Mm,
I definitely like them fighting fascism.
hell
It
yeah.
would really be suck. It would really suck if they lost.
Yeah, it really would.
Okay, so let's jump into it. The episode begins with our main man, Frank in custody, beaten and spat upon. He was taken prisoner at the end of the last episode, and things have not improved for him.
No, I maybe even got worse.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely out of the frying pan and into the fire.
Yeah.
We cut to his girlfriend, Juliana. She's in bed, and next to her on the stand is the film canister, the very important film canister. She looks out the window and sees her new friend, Joe Blake, looking very James Dean as he sits on the hood of the truck and smokes. Very, very cool.
So cool. I mean, smoking and a truck. Come on.
So she pops outside. They have some amiable discussion. He had fronted her the cash so that she could have a room. No big deal. She's like, I'll pay you back. And he's like, don't worry about it, whatever. And then they go for a drive.
A nice little Sunday drive.
Yeah. He brings her to a place. It's like sunrise, and the mountains are surrounding them, and they're on a bridge. And it's just a fucking gorgeous mountainscape. And the two of them like walk over to the edge, and there's like a long drop where the falls are right beneath them. And it's just like, well, this is delightful.
So nice.
Yeah. I don't know why she was so hung up on that guy, Frank.
I mean, he seems like a chode.
Right?
I mean, that's the first word that came to mind. I meant like wet blanket. What a wet blanket, this Frank guy. Boring.
What is a chode? Like, I've heard the term, but I don't really know what it means.
Okay, I always thought it was a taint, but then I've heard that it is like a Cheswick.
What's that? That's another word I don't know.
It is a penis that is wider than it is long.
Oh. What did you call it? A Cheswig?
Wick.
Uh-huh. Okay. All right. Well,
I'm not. Okay.
Tressa teaches us all the dirty words here on Fire Tonight.
I'm no expert.
This is like, when you're a kid and like there are other kids in your school that can like speak other languages fluently.
No.
And you're like, teach me the dirty words.
We had a foreign exchange student from Paris when I was in junior high.
Were they naked the entire time? Just
obviously
a beret, a baguette, and nothing else.
Yeah. She had a striped shirt on at one point, but that had
she was
to go.
A mime. She's a full-on mime.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she told us all the words, and we don't remember. I don't remember them.
You remember one. You remember the word for yes. Good job.
Thank you.
All right. So Joe and Juliana, like, they drive back to town. They park out in front of the diner that's not open yet. Like, they make a joke. I guess it's not really the Sunrise Diner.
Good one. Cool.
Joe is like, so is there like a Mr. Juliana? And she's like, well, there's a Frank. And he's like, is that your husband? And she's like, well, that would be two questions. And yeah, so
technicalities.
He explains that he's following in his father's footsteps. And she's like, well, if you could just choose to do anything, what would you do? He's like, anything else, literally anything else.
You think that was Joe, the real guy, saying that, or Joe, the guy that we're not supposed to know is a Nazi? Or is that the same guy?
Great question, right? Like, who's the real Joe? I don't know.
Who fucking knows?
There are a lot of fucking questions. Right. So just in case you forgot, Joe Blake is in touch with Obergruppenführer John Smith, who is like the head Nazi in charge, the HNIC.
He's like
Um,
the guy that was in control of Channel 23 in the first episode. That's what he reminds me of.
Played by the amazing Rufus Sewell, who like that guy is fucking awesome. Like I never get too much of that guy. He was in Dark City. I don't know if you remember him from that. Like anyway, he's a very talented actor. So
So she
anyway,
gets out and she's like, peace, I'm going to go make that money back and I'm going to pay you
right.
back.
She walks into the diner. She's like, sign says you're looking for a waitress. And the diner owner guy is just getting set up. He's like, I'll think about it.
What's to think about, bro? You need a waitress. I need a job. Give me that money. I mean, job.
So we cut to, they're playing Guess My Game, the Reich's favorite game show, in the lobby of the boarding house. And we see like that middle-aged guy making origami cranes. And Joe Blake observes him. Meanwhile,
Long Island?
yeah, we cut to Obergruppenführer John Smith's Long Island home. It is Norman Rockwell picture perfect Nazism.
I can't keep all these Nazis straight. They all look the same to me.
Yeah, I mean, I get you. But like you recognize him as a unique character.
No, I don't. Every time I see him, I'm like, oh, another Nazi. I don't.
Oh, interesting.
I have no, unless it's somewhere I know he's been before, like his office or something.
Okay, so most of the Nazis have like lighter toned uniforms on.
I thought you were going to say skin color.
His is he wears like a black uniform and denotes higher rank.
He's the one who wears the jacket with the pleat in the back, the leather jacket with the pleat in the back that looks like a vagina. Okay, keep going.
Why do you always think that jackets look like vaginas? Why is everything a very thick penis or a jacket vagina?
I don't know, Josh.
All right, so John Smith's wife, teenage son, and 2 daughters are all having breakfast together. The son has brought his school books to the breakfast table, which is not something they do.
No, that's rude.
But he's stressed out because he doesn't want this other kid in his class to get a higher grade on the test than him.
Right.
And then John Smith gives him a familial lecture on like the noble attributes of service to the greater good, and how that other kid who's a nonconformist with his hair past his collar, like that guy is just in it for himself.
Question.
But you care about the greater good.
Question.
Yeah.
Did they call him Randall, the kid that they don't like?
Oh, I didn't write down the kid's name.
I didn't either, but I was like, oh, this kid doesn't like Randall before I took note of the name Randall.
I think it might have been Raymond.
Okay. It might
have been Raymond.
I just remember an R name. And then later I was like, wait, that's a different part of the country. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Right. Not to be confused with, there's also a character named Randall.
Oh, I did write it down.
Was he Raymond or Randall?
I wrote down Randall, but I could have written it down like later and not been paying attention. I don't know.
I'm just going to go ahead and make a total spoiler. That kid that the son goes to school with doesn't matter at all.
I was waiting to see about him all fucking season and you already blew it for me.
Yeah, he's not a secret mole inside the high school in Long Island.
Thank you. It was confusing to me.
So John Smith is happy that his son feels competitive spirit, and also that he takes to heart his lesson about what actually matters. And he says you can study at the breakfast table just this once. And
Yeah.
great. I mean, literally nothing could be more Saturday evening post Norman Rockwell than everything about this breakfast scene, except everyone is wearing a
Nazis.
swastika armband. So,
Yeah.
you know, it's just a, you know, it's one dash to the right or to the left. So
Ugh.
Joe Blake calls John Smith. He gets intel that like there's a woman on her way from San Francisco, and he asks like, is she also carrying a film canister?
He's like,
And
what?
yeah,
How'd you
John
know
Smith
about
is like,
that?
my dude, you're not supposed to know about that.
It's cool. I just want to make sure it was safe.
He's like, your job is to follow orders. Heil Hitler, and hangs up. I love that you can just order someone in any way, say Heil Hitler, and that's the end
And
of
hang
it.
up on him. Yeah. That's how Nazis end their fights on their phones. Yeah, well, fucking Heil Hitler, bitch.
So, man, somebody's gonna excerpt this audio and make it sound like the two of us.
The worst people on earth.
Right?
Hi.
Oy, oy, oy.
Told you this is a bad idea.
This is, yeah, you're right. This is a terrible idea.
We should stop now.
So anyway, back in San Francisco, back at the police station where Frank's rotting in a cell, they strip him naked, and Keto asks, why are you not circumcised? Not that I care, but Japan is in accordance with all German laws, so, you know, you should be exterminated as well as your sister and her children.
Wait, but why? Why?
Because his grandfather was Jewish.
No way.
Yeah, you don't get to choose it.
Nope.
Sorry, buddy. The law is the law.
Mm.
Anyway, Keto could overlook it if you fully cooperate.
What do you need, bro?
He wants the film. Where is Juliana? And then we cut to Juliana. She's at the diner. That's where she is. But Frank didn't let that on. Anyway, it's almost noon. She's watching all the customers because that scribble on the bus ticket said 1205 or 12 dash whatever.
Yeah.
And there's like the old dude who makes origami is reading the Bible, and it says that you can find a lot of interesting things in the neutral zone. Don't you agree?
Yeah, but the Bible ain't one of them.
Well, right, but like it's illegal.
I know, it's illegal.
The Pacific as well as the German states.
But also, okay, I want to talk about this for just a second. Mm-hmm. I thought that part of Hitler, I mean, I don't fucking know, but I thought that one of Hitler's things is like, I'm a Catholic.
Nope. Christianity is incompatible with Nazism. They wanted to do away with all religion.
Okay, listen. Everything
they were socialists who were against religion.
They were not democratic socialists. They were national socialists, which is
they sure were. They sure as fuck were.
Yeah. So, but also, yeah, that doesn't mean anything though, because there are so many evangelicals that hate so many people. So that's why I thought, whatever.
Right. But, so if I understand correctly, like the Nazis were, they sort of put up with Christianity for now, but like we're ultimately going to do away with it because it wasn't compatible with their like futurist view of a racially pure Germany and Germania and geraniums.
Yeah, that's
so. You know, you probably had like religious schools in Germany that had pictures of Jesus next to pictures of Hitler, like in the 30s and 40s and whatever. But that would have been done away with in, I think, or maybe it was, I don't fucking remember. Anyway.
Wait. Question 2.
But also you got to remember the New Testament comes from the Old Testament, and that's a little too Jewy.
Wait.
Yeah.
You're right. But the New Testament isn't the Old Testament.
No, but it still like it recognizes the Old Testament as
Well,
part of it.
sure, it's the Bible. Of course it
Right.
does.
So that's
Here's a
awfully
funny
Jewy.
story. Funny story.
Yeah.
Just last year, Andy said to me, Andy says to me, wait a minute. So like the New Testament isn't just like a reboot, like a rewriting of the Old Testament?
I mean,
No,
you
no.
know, it's kind of like, in some ways, it's a new covenant.
Right, but it's a whole new
But
book full of stories that are completely different.
totally. So if you were a fan of the first series, you might be a fan of the second series.
It gets a little weird, but not as weird as the first one.
There's a lot of sex and violence. So, you know, like
Yes.
will this pay off for the audience the way the first one did? We'll see.
Right. You never know.
You got to
Third
remember.
question.
Yeah.
No, what do I got to remember?
Oh, I already don't remember what I was going to tell you
Josh.
to remember. Sorry. What was the third question?
Unrelated to this show and Nazis.
Yeah.
The guy, the origami guy.
Yeah.
That's Alan Havey. Do you know who Alan Havey is?
No, what's he been in? He looks familiar.
I don't know, but he had a talk show in the late 80s, early 90s when Comedy Central was the comedy channel, or Ha, as it originally was. And I was really excited. I was like, oh, I haven't seen that guy since the 90s. Okay. Anyway.
Was he a funny host?
I think that he was on, so I watched it, and I don't remember being blown away by it, but it was on.
Okay. But he was the host, and it was the normal format of like a late night style talk show.
Yeah, but they had no
stuff.
Oh, this is what I remember about it. They had no in-studio audience, but if you like wrote in, they would pick someone to be the sole audience, the sole person in the audience. Yeah.
Why would they set up a dynamic where they're more likely to fail? Like, comedy needs an audience.
Right. I hope you like to laugh. And if you don't, I hope you laugh.
It's one guy.
Yeah. And you could hear him off camera. It was uncomfortable. So he's got a Bible and he's like, you should read this book. It is fascinating.
Right. She's like, well, it's forbidden where I come from. He's like, yeah, on the other side too. But, you know, you can find interesting things in the neutral zone. We see Joe. He's sitting just casually blowing into a harmonica. There's static on the TV and he flips channels and there's cartoons and like an array of different programming. And he finally lands on a show called American Reich, which is clearly just Dragnet, but in the German occupied world.
I think I was taking a note when that happened. Folks, this is what happened before the internet. We put harmonicas in our mouth and breathed, and then we went through 5 channels over and over again. It was hell.
Yeah, and if there was static,
you lived with it.
Yeah, you just lived with it because that like what fixed your antenna a little bit, tried to do better. And that was that. Anyway, he looks at his own film canister and he thinks, Top 2. We've got a meeting back in the Pacific states. Keto is observing. Tagomi is there with the German ambassador, who informs them that Juliana Crane and the film need to be found.
Do they know they know it's Juliana, right?
I don't, I wrote it, but
because
now I'm not positive.
Yeah, they do because they killed Trudy, so they know that it's Juliana that has it.
Or they suspect it.
Exactly.
But right, so the Germans know that, and the Japanese are like, fuck, how do they know so much?
Yeah.
And so Tagomi is like, okay, that's cool, but I just have to remind you, this is Japanese soil. And the Germans are like, yes, but this is a matter of state security. Now it's just the time on sprockets when we dance. Meanwhile, Juliana's at the diner. And that origami dude,
Mhm.
he's like, I was reading this Bible passage in
Ecclesiastes.
Ecclesiastes,
Yeah.
and it says that we must dedicate our lives to what's beyond the sun.
What
And
does that mean,
right,
bro?
yeah. She's like, what does that mean? And he's like, well, the Japanese think that that's the emperor. The Germans think it's nothing. And she's like, what do you think? He's like, I don't know. Anyway, if you check out chapter 12, verse
Anyway,
5,
fascinating stuff.
chapter 12, verse 5 is what was scribbled on that fucking ticket. 1205 isn't a time, it's a Bible verse.
A Bible verse? I
Yeah.
totally didn't catch that at
He
all.
tells her to go to the bookstore and buy her own fucking Bible, you fucking
Dead weight.
right.
Mm. Then we go to New York City.
Yeah, Obergruppenführer John Smith is getting driven, and he's next to his number one.
His Riker.
Yeah, well, the guy's name is Eric Ryder,
Oh,
actually.
see?
It's close. Yeah. Anyway, they
Whoa.
discuss the threat of these films, and his lieutenant guy is like, I mean, I think Hitler's being a little bit of a drama queen. And John Smith is like, never. Like,
Shut your fucking filthy
like
mouth.
he
you
is a
bitch.
100% dyed in the will. If Hitler says the sky is orange, the sky is fucking orange.
Oh yeah.
So anyway, they get ambushed.
Right. But writers like, well, who even cares? It's just a fake film that somebody made. It doesn't even matter. And John Smith is like, did they? Did somebody just make them? Are they fake? Whatever. Well, if they're not fake, then who made them? Like, what could that possibly mean, John Smith? You idiot!
Totally, it's
And
very
then they get
confusing.
Mhm.
And
they
then
get
boom, there's a big old shootout. Trucks
Yeah,
pull up.
I think
They're boxed in.
I think the resistance needs better training because John Smith pretty much killed everyone all by himself.
Totally. There were like resistance guys all like circling them. John Smith is shot.
So much
He still
gunfire.
gets out and kills every single one of them except for one that he's
Mhm.
able to capture alive.
Yep.
And
Shoots
his
him in the
lieutenant
butt.
Eric has been shot up real bad. So I don't know if that guy's going to make it or not. Back in San Francisco on the factory floor,
Mm.
Ed notices that his buddy Frank isn't in and asks, did he phone in sick? And the shop steward says no. It's like, well, that's weird. Do you mind if I go check on him? Like, you can dock my pay. He's like, don't worry, I will.
Like a true boss.
Meanwhile, the reason Frank is not at work is he's in a cell.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. And his cell neighbor is like, hey, why
He's like,
didn't you tell
knock,
me?
knock.
Can I borrow some sugar?
Ooh, my husband won't be home for an hour.
But his cell neighbor's name is Randall, which is why I was confused because it's the other side of the country. Anyway, not important. But he was like, why didn't you tell him where Julie was or Juliana was? What are you doing, Frank?
Right. He's like, I'm Trudy's friend. And by the way, I can't do shit for you. And my name's Randall.
Peace.
Yeah, pretty much. And then he's like, so where do you think Juliana went? Like, where did Trudy's sister go? Like, he's trying to get information out of Frank, possibly to get himself out of the clink.
Oh.
Or maybe he was an operative all along.
Yeah, he was being shady and I didn't really understand because I didn't really understand what his motivation was as a character. I didn't know if he was because he was so gung-ho on like only the good can make evil, blah blah blah.
Only the good die young.
Yeah, that's what he said. And I don't.
Come out, Virginia. Don't make me wait.
Yeah, he said that too.
You Catholic girls start much too late.
Back at the diner.
Sooner or later,
Oh boy.
it comes down to fate. I
Juliana
might as
is
well be the one.
she's like, yo, you mind if I take a break? I gotta go do some reading.
Yeah.
So she goes to the local bookstore of this tiny little shithole town. And she's like, yo, you got a Bible? And the book guy is like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what a Bible is. And she's like, I'm pretty sure you get Bibles. And he's like, okay, fine. But they're not totally legal. They're just not illegal here.
Yeah,
So
there's a legal
be
gray
fucking
area
cool.
in the neutral zone because there are laws to the left and there are laws to the right. And here in the neutral zone, where time is pretty much standing still
Mhm.
in almost every way.
Yeah.
Like maybe there's like a distinct culture that's continuing, or maybe it's just a time capsule. I don't know. Anyway, they're like, yes, it's a gray area. So anyway, he relents. He like unearths a Bible that he's got stashed behind the counter.
In his gun pocket under the desk.
So John Smith makes it back to his office building where a guy named Lawrence briefs him. And he's like, I don't fucking get it. I vary up my route every single day. And these Semite terrorists knew exactly where to find me. Also, like some other dude is missing. So maybe there was somebody else got shot up or they escaped because they were part of the plot. It's unclear. Yeah.
I was so focused on the vagina on his back that I missed that whole conversation.
You have a real fixation on jackets and whether or not they look like vaginas.
I know, you already said that.
Yeah. So, well, it's because it's true.
Yeah. So, what's his name? Ed?
Yeah, Ed McCarthy.
Yeah.
His name is Ed McCarthy. He has two names, a full first name and a last name.
Okay. Yeah. I just have him down as Squalls in all my notes.
DJ Squalls.
I can't remember. So he's like, I'm gonna go check out Frank. He goes to Frank's place and he looks in all the windows rude and he's like, fuck, it looks bad in there.
Yeah, he's beaten off real hard and notices that it looks like the place has been tossed.
He's thinking about the back of that coat.
Maybe. Anyway, Frank is freaking out in his cell, like freaking out.
Yeah. He's like pulling at his chains like that's gonna do something.
Right. It's like he's been in solitary for weeks, but it's been like hours. Things are only gonna get worse, my dude. Like, calm yourself. Anyway, Randall says the film shows them how the world could be. And he's like, this is the way the fucking world is. And Randall's like, evil triumphs if good men do nothing. And Frank just screams, oh.
Settle down, Frank.
So Joe, he also gets a hankering for a read. Yeah, he goes to the bookstore too. This is a busy day at the old bookstore in Canyon City.
The most customers he's had in weeks.
He's like, do you have anything for boys? Like a 10-year-old boy?
Sure.
Guy shows him Adventures of Huckleberry Finn.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, well, I think you'll like it. Yeah. And then he asks, hey, there's a gal in here. What did she buy? And the bookstore guy is like, yeah, I don't remember a gal.
I've never seen a woman in my life.
What is a woman? And then Joe leaves without answers, but he does buy the book. And the bookstore guy looks fucking stressed.
Fuck yeah, he is.
Yeah.
That Bible's not illegal, but it's not legal.
Yeah. And that is what Juliana happens to be reading. So like
Oh, how
there's like a
nice.
line in there about a grasshopper. And I think that like the film canister was labeled something about grasshopper.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So there's something. And she
Mm.
calls from a payphone to Frank's house. But guess what? Frank ain't there.
Oh,
Some
that's weird. Where is he?
somebody else answers. He's like,
Right. And before anyone even answers the phone, she's like, "Hey, it's Julia. I'm over here and I'm doing this. What's going on?"
she doesn't spill any beans.
I know, but she does say, "Hey, this is who I am and you are looking for me." Like she is stupid on every
No,
level to this.
she
No,
says, she says Frank,
Mhm,
and the voice on the other end of the line says, "Is that Miss Crane?"
what else are they gonna say? They know it's her.
And she hangs
She
up.
is an idiot and she made me mad in this episode. All right.
Well, she's doing her best with limited information.
Yeah, she hasn't seen a lot of movies before, so it's fine.
Meanwhile, back in the
At the
Pacific States,
consulate.
yeah, Tagomi is checking the I Ching, and that German conspirator guy
Mhm.
comes in and they have a meeting. The Crown Prince is scheduled to arrive tomorrow, and Tagomi advises that they cancel this meeting.
I'm not gonna be able to travel on a fake passport twice. Are you fucking kidding me?
He's like, listen, the
No.
German ambassador is looking for a girl, which means that they have infiltrated and who knows what they know, but this is too high a risk. And then the German guy is like, listen, Hitler's not in the best health. He's not going to live forever. And we need to avert war because when he dies, there's going to be fucking chaos. And Tagomi says, there will be a different time.
Comey.
There will be a different time.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, the German guy is like, you said it yourself. Destiny is in the hands of men. That means me.
I'm doing the destiny thing, bitch.
Right. Yeah, it's confusing because you know it looks bad no matter what you do.
I mean, yeah,
So what do you do?
exactly. Hey,
So
there's a
then,
lady here to meet the inspector with her two kids.
yeah, they've been waiting in the police station for what looks like a long, long time.
Mm-hmm.
Keto finally goes down to see them. Oh, it's Frank's sister and her children.
Oh, how nice. They came to visit.
This is great. Hey, let's just get a quick little Polaroid of you guys together. Terrific. How long will
Nicely
we be
said.
here? Not long, I
No.
hope. They're taken to a plastic covered room.
Yeah,
Like
beautiful.
the furniture's all wrapped in plastic.
I
And
mean,
there's a
no, it's
TV on.
fine. Everybody did that then. You don't want stains on your furniture. They might have hot chocolate or something later. It's fine.
Kids want to watch TV, and she says, no problem. And then the door is sealed. Keto immediately shows Frank the picture and says, you know about Zyklon D? So that during World War II, the Nazis had Zyklon B. Now they've
Oh,
already skipped C and they're all on to D. So
I mean,
yeah,
it, it's fine.
Frank
Like,
Frank doesn't say anything. Frank is still a stone wall. And Keto is like, is it worth dying for this woman who thinks you're a failure and doesn't love you? And then fucking Randall next door is
fucking
like,
Randall.
stay strong.
Yep, turns into Hoosiers. It's crazy.
Check out the Hoosiers on that one.
Ah, yeah.
So yeah, Keto is like, listen, your neighbor over there is a
What an idiot.
deviant.
Mm-hmm.
That's code for gay.
Oh, oh.
Yeah, a social deviant, that means gay.
Let's take it back. You and me.
We're gonna rebrand deviant.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
All right, done.
Wait, what do we make it mean? What,
Mm.
how do we use it? Use it in a sentence.
Cool, dude. Check out that cool deviant.
Oh, nice. That's totally deviant. It's like Smurf. You can use it in many ways. That is one devianting his deviance.
Did you see the back of that guy's jacket? It looked like a deviant.
Now I just know that it means vagina. Okay, anyway, Keto is like, listen, think it over, but don't think too long. I don't know why he's not just saying, tell me now. Because like,
yeah,
that's it. Anyway, we have some drama because the clock is ticking.
mm-hmm.
We cut back to the neutral zone. Joe puts on a record. It's Strange Fruit by Billie Holiday.
What a fun, upbeat song for everyone to listen to at fun times.
Things are different in the neutral zone than they are on either coast. Right?
I would imagine.
Those coastal elites don't know shit about shit.
Or fuck about shit.
Yeah. Anyway, he's watching the diner from the window of the boarding house. Juliana tells the origami dude that she bought a Bible and would like to discuss it, but not here.
No, we have to go to the church basement.
Get me to the church on time.
Right. He leaves. Joe goes in. He's like, yo, what's up with origami dude?
He doesn't call him origami dude, but yeah, he's like,
pretty sure
you know
does.
that guy? And she's like, why? And he's like, I'm jealous. And then he just pours on the charm.
Yeah, that's all you need.
Right? Joe is one charming motherfucker. He doesn't,
you know what he's like?
Much.
He's like a guy that's been, his consciousness and memories have been sucked into a computer, and he's trying to like charm a computer AI from 20 minutes in the future is what he's like.
Yes, but this is 60 years in the past.
Oh no.
In a different tangent universe. Or is it?
Oh.
Yeah. So meanwhile, back in New York, John Smith's office, Joe calls and he reports about like the origami guy. He's like, I've seen this guy. I don't know if there's anything up with him. He's in his 50s. He makes these like paper folded things.
Right.
Yeah. And then Juliana shows up at his hotel room right then.
Yeah, she's like, look, here's the money that you paid for all these things for me, and I just want to pay you back. But also, here's a very detailed letter to my mother. Please don't steam it open while I'm gone.
Yeah, in case I don't make it back, I might die immediately. Please have this letter delivered to my mom. Here's her address. It's written on.
Please don't murder her because you are a Nazi.
We cut back to the police station in San Francisco. The kids watch TV while the mom is just watching the ceiling vents and trying to be calm.
He's eyeballing those vents. She's like, you know what? Maybe I'll just check this door real quick. I'll just see if I can, yeah.
Back in the cell, Randall tells our man, Frank, he's got a tough choice. Whatever you do, someone you love will die. And by the way, it doesn't matter if you think you're a Jew or not. They think you're a Jew. So.
And that's all that matters to them.
Them's the breaks.
So who are you going to kill, Frank?
Yeah. And then Randall's like, this ends when people like us refuse to obey at all costs. And then the guards walk in, beat the shit out of Randall, and they take him away.
Don't let him take your soul, Frank.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't look good for Randall.
No.
Meanwhile, in the neutral zone, Joe predictably steams open that letter.
No, why would he do that? That's a private letter to that lady's mother.
He reads about how Trudy gave her a film that shows a different and better world. What? Say what?
Good.
And then, since he's got a film of his own.
Oh, yeah.
He takes that canister and he breaks into an old movie theater that still has posters up for
Marx Brothers movies.
Marx Brothers movies. Somebody wrote Semite over the Marx Brothers movie poster, and there's a Frankenstein poster with with Boris Karloff. And Yeah, he breaks in, and it's a good thing that this place has a 16 millimeter projector.
And electricity.
Yeah, and electricity.
So he watches the film.
Yeah. And we assume beats off in the projectionist booth because
thinking about the back of that jacket.
That's all that happens in projectionist booths.
Hey, that's not true. I was a projectionist for a while.
Uh-huh.
I don't have a penis to jack on. We're not going to talk anymore about that.
Okay, back in the prison cell, Keto questions Frank, and Frank just begs him, kill me.
Yeah.
Not them, me. Keto is disgusted and storms off.
Yeah, he's like, gross.
We see Juliana walking alone down a darkened street. Joe watches the film and goes back to the boarding house. His phone rings. It's like the middle of the night.
Right.
John Smith calls him. He's like, great work. That origami dude is an undercover agent for the SD. He's not one of ours. He's eliminated lots of subversives.
And he's very dangerous.
He's very dangerous.
And Joe's like, oh, I'm going to get my gun.
And leaves. Yeah.
Yeah.
Frank's sister and kids continue to wait in that chamber. Frank is taken outside and tied to a pole, and next to him is a pole with a very dead Randall.
Sorry, bro.
We see the falls at night, the ones right on the bridge. A firing squad comes out to where Frank waits. They put a bag over his head.
It does not look good for Frank.
Frank, my man, origami dude, meets Juliana on the bridge. And then we see that fucking
lady.
Yeah, middle-aged bitch that stole Juliana's shit. She's been captured with the fucking decoy films.
What? Okay.
Yeah.
I have a question about that too, because she's arrested by the Japanese, whatever, and the guy's like, it's whatever, it's not real. It was all counterfeit film.
Yeah, it was just like some old newsreels.
Yeah, that's what it was. So my question is, were they just like boring, stupid? Do they know about these films that Juliana has? And would they consider those to be counterfeit because they weren't what happened or what they think happened?
That's a fair question. But I mean, whatever it is, apparently they have a projector in the police station. They check it out.
They didn't have to break into anything.
They're like, this is meaningless.
Right. But they knew it was Trudy's stuff.
Right. And so they decide they must have been chasing the wrong person with the wrong stuff.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, so
we're going to kill this bitch.
I guess probably.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know. Or maybe,
they did. Come on. They're not good people.
Yeah. They're probably torturing her, asking for information about the resistance.
Putting needles up her fingernails.
Could be.
All right. So we get back on the bridge.
Yeah. The origami guy is like, where's the film?
Here you go.
He examines it and says, excellent work, Trudy. And then shoves her at the rail, like towards the falls.
He was going to push her over that goddamn bridge.
Fuck yeah, he was. Joe drives up and Juliana's struggling with the origami dude. And we see Frank's hood removed and the firing squad leaves. And
he's not dead.
He's not dead. He's very much alive.
Yeah.
The film canister is lying on the street. We see Juliana, a keto origami dude, right over the rail. Hasta la vista, my dude.
I thought that was corny.
You thought that was corny? Mm-hmm. She saves herself. Even though Joe like swoops in, he doesn't save her. She saves herself.
No, I mean, that's cool. I like that. I get that. But the corny part was like, Hey, you guys, remember at the beginning of the other episode? Well, it's paying off right now. I didn't like that.
You don't like when something that is in an episode means something towards the rest of the
Okay,
show?
okay. What I'm saying is,
You
it
just felt
felt
like it was
like,
too forced?
yes, it felt very forced. And unless that continues, the Haikido stuff continues throughout the series, it's going to be even grosser to me, where it's just like, we need her to be able to throw this guy. How are we gonna do this? Okay, let's put in the first episode she's really into this martial art. Cool, done. That's what it seemed like to me.
Well, I guess we'll see.
I guess we will. I
Yeah.
guess we fucking will, Josh.
So she's freaking out. She's clearly never thrown an adult man off a bridge before. And
So naive.
Joe sees the film canister and he's like, "Hey, it's me. I'm okay." He puts down the gun that he's holding because he was ready to shoot somebody. Was it her or was it
Huh?
the other guy?
Will we ever know?
Yeah, so he puts down the gun, he picks up the film canister and hands it to her. And then, as a gentleman, he drapes his very cool leather jacket around her shoulders and
Mhm.
helps her to the truck. And we see as they leave, the drawing of Juliana that Frank did is on the ground and it blows away.
Because fuck Frank. Who, by the way, has been spared.
Yeah, he's just been brought up from the basement and Ed is in the police station to meet him. And Ed's like, "Hey, great news. They said you can go."
They seem like super nice guys, Frank. Let's get out of here.
Keto is like, "We arrested a different smuggler." And he's like, "Oh, okay, thank God." So my sister and her kids, he's like, "Unfortunately, we found out too late. You're
Too
free to
late for
go."
what? What do you
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
What are you talking about? That doesn't seem right. What do you mean?
And he's like, "You have suffered enough. I am not a monster." And then Frank says, "You ever need more Jews to kill, you know where to find me." And Keto says, "Yes, I do." And that's the end of the episode.
Mm,
That's some shit right there.
that is some shit.
Fucking hell. Okay, so it's
Mhm.
1962.
Yeah.
Germany and Japan rule most of the United States. Our heroes are in a shitload of trouble, and we aren't even sure who our fucking heroes are in some cases.
Who are the puppets and who are the masters? Hey, you know what? Last time I said it felt like it was the 40s and nothing had really progressed, and I take that back because this episode was very late 50s, early 60s centric. So
There's a lot of music throughout the episode
mm,
that signals different stuff about like we're in the German part of America, we're in the Japanese part of America, we're in the neutral zone. And
oh yeah.
like it's a beautifully shot show with where each place has a very distinct look.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, time has progressed a little differently in these places because of German rule, Japanese rule, or lawlessness, whatever we're calling the neutral zone.
Right.
Is this a lawless place or not?
Is anything ever.
Oh.
So this has been our show. I'm going to leave you with one thought, everybody. If you put a pleat on the back of a leather jacket, it will look like a vagina. All right. Have a good one.